Right, welcome back. Following on from last week, or last episode I should say. Obviously I got to the point where, well, I was doing the clutch. Basically, I got to the point where I didn't really think that obviously I need a tool or something to actually get the clutch out, to undo that actual middle nut, and then I can continue on. We've obviously removed the bolts. So the pulley's off, so that needs a good clean up. I need to get this clutch basket out. All the top bolts are out, and then I can actually start. I can flip the engine over. There is another load of bolts underneath the engine. I'll show you a picture. Right, working from the picture that I've got from the OE fiches. Bring that in, top half of the engine. As you can see where the bolts are, I've removed all this middle section bolts, I've removed the back section. I've also removed these bolts along the front section and this one at the rear. Actually, after I get the clutch out, I need to flip it over, and these ones that are marked 8, it's 10 bolts. I need to undo them, then I can flip it back over and hopefully remove the top section of the casing. Then I can start giving that a clean up, have a look inside and see exactly where I am. But as I say, I highly recommend for anybody doing this, especially for me, obviously first time, is try and get these pictures. They are available online, you can print them off. It does give me details of everything, and I've got the manual as well. So today, as I say, I've now got the correct clutch tool. So we need to lock this up. Obviously that's locked. I'll lock that with the tool and I can get this nut off. So that's the next job. Right, and this is a tool I've got. It's an EBC clutch tool. That's the number, CT019. It's also printed on it as well. So hopefully that will do the job. Never used one of these, so because a lot of the time, obviously, if it's in the bike, I can just lock the rear wheel up and it seems to lock the centre up, obviously put it in gear. But with the engine being out, I'll try one of these. So there we go, that's the part number. That's what it looks like. I'll leave a link in the description of where you can get these. So let's try and get this clutch out. Right, so that slots in nicely. Let's see if this will crack. Alright, let's try a breaker bar on this. Right, finally, after quite a time of trying, I ended up actually putting the engine back in the frame. Basically tipped the frame backwards, which gives me enough leverage on the breaker bar, and that nut is now actually cracked. So I'm just going to pop this back out, pop it back on the bench. Now I can continue undoing the clutch nut. Then I need to flip the engine over and get them bolts underneath. But that took a while. Right, it's back out of the bike, back on the bench. Yeah, I struggled for a while trying to get that out. Luckily I still have the frame here, so soaked it in penetrating fluid to try and free it up. Right, that, there you go. There's the washer, centre basket, inner washer, and the roller bearing. Alright, so we'll put that to one side and give that a clean up later. Alright, so that's much better. Oh, and the sleeve, don't want to lose that. Alright, have to make sure obviously I get that the right way around. Slightly raised on the back side, flush on the front. Right, so next job we flip this engine over and then get them last 10 bolts. Right, I've just flipped the engine up onto its end. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Sorry, 5, 6, 7. The other ones are going to be, so I've got to take the sump off. So what I do before I do that, I'll soak the ones I can see in penetrating fluid. So literally 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 bolts are visible. 3 will be inside the sump. Alright, so off with the sump. Right, so I've soaked all the bolts, just let them soak in for a little bit longer. Sump bolts are 10s, and the main bolts I want are 12s. So let's start cracking these. Right, they all seem to have cracked. I've just got the 3 inside to do once I get this sump off. So the next one, I've cracked all these, I'll take that sump off. Right, so once again, a couple of bits of card, basically like I did with the top bolts, so they're laid out exactly where I know exactly where they are. So I've done one for the sump, and then one for the 10 bolts that are across. So first one, get some bolts out. Alright, there you go. I saw some bolts out. Alright, let's go ahead and do the oil filter housing. Again, this will be another bit to clean up. Right, remember to keep the spring. That can go in the bin. I'll give that a really good clean up. Alright, let's get this casing out. Alright, there we go. That's the state of the sump. Again, I'll have a really good clean up. This O-ring will be replaced. But right, what you can see now is one bolt there, one bolt there, and one bolt there. Right, that's the other worrying thing. That was in the oil strainer. So this is going to have to be thoroughly cleaned because I have absolutely no idea what that is. Yeah, there's lumps of it in this oil. Alright, let's get these bolts out, then we can have a look. Alright, it's the same as again as we did with the sump bolts, and take these bolts out, obviously use the card. So again, one by one. that's the last one. So again, all on the card, so I know exactly which order they came out of. Right, and that should, in theory, be all the bolts. So you've got the main 10 underneath. I'm probably going to loosely fit the sump so I can lay it back down, because I don't want any damage on the ore strainer. But that will come out, be cleaned or replaced. Right, slot this sump back on and then flip this engine back over. Right, so engine's flipped back over. Next job is these sort of prying points. There's 4. There's 2 this side, 2 the other side. Hopefully that should be everything unbolted. So I'm going to pry these and see if I can get this apart. Alright, as you can see, I've just used the prying point there and the one the other side, and it's already started to split. So I just need to do these front ones, this one and the other side. Then hopefully should lift off, I think. That's like learning curve for me, so I'm learning as I go on this one. But let's get them 2 pried and see if we can loosen it even more. There it goes. Alright, that's nicely loosened off. Alright, the moment of truth. Yes, there we go. So that's the top half off. The bottom half all still in situ. So all this is going to be cleaned up. Right, that is something I don't want to lose. That is basically sits in that bearing. There's already one in the other side. And have a look at the condition of these bearings. I don't know if I'm going to have to replace these bearings or not. They're about 60 quid ish each. I'll have to have a look at the exact figure, but I can clean all this up. And take this crankshaft apart, clean it all up. So I clean all this up. Clean the top half off, because I want to actually clean this down and actually respray it. But I'm pleased I've got to this stage. I'll do the bottom half once I've got the top half sorted and the crank sorted. Then I can flip it back over again and I'll do the bottom half. I'm not actually keen on taking this gearbox apart. So this is an unknown entity to me. I'm learning as I go, but with the help of the manual and the pictures, that's helped me a long way. So first time I'd highly advise, any time I'd highly advise it. These seals are going to be replaced. But no, overall really happy with that. I say all the bolts are in the board, in the card, so I know exactly where they came from and which order they go back in. So that'll be about it for today. Right, so thanks for joining me on that one. So that was quite an achievement. I feel really good that that's actually now apart. So now the work can begin to actually start replacing parts, getting the crank out, and I can start moving on with the cases and cleaning them up and getting them resprayed. I've already got some heat proof silver aluminium paint, so that'll make it look a lot better. But yeah, quite an achievement. I'm really pleased with that. So as usual, comments in the comments box below. Keep the comments coming. I really appreciate all your comments. They mean a lot. I learn and I grow from your comments, your advice, your tips. It's fantastic. So keep the comments coming. They are important to me. I try and respond to everybody. As I say, as the channel's growing, I know it's going to get more difficult, but I still will try and comment and reply to everybody that leaves me a comment. Again, if you want to message me, you can get my my personal email for this channel and send me an email. I know some people don't like to leave a lengthy comment, so they email me instead. That's fine. I'll get back to you as soon as I can on that one. So as usual, subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner, so please like and subscribe, and also turn on your notifications, which is the little bell icon. Link to my Patreon page in the bottom right hand corner, and links to other videos in top left and top right. So join me again next time. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.